Today, your angel has prepared a special message for you. Something inside you already knows that something is wrong. Communication is broken, and you feel it deep in your soul. It's like you're screaming in silence, hoping the other person will hear you, but nothing happens. The pain of this indifference suffocates you, leaves you feeling lost. You're tired of giving so much and receiving so little, of waiting for an answer that never comes. This confusion, this emotional mess, is destroying you from within, and you feel like you can't go on like this. You're here, wanting to connect, feeling an almost urgent need to establish a real bond. But at the same time, there's this doubt that doesn't leave you alone. Is all this effort really worth it? Does this person, for whom you've dedicated so much time and energy, really deserve all this emotional investment? You find yourself thinking about it, and the truth is, there's no easy answer. It's normal to wonder if it's worth wearing yourself out so much for someone who doesn't show the same interest, who doesn't lift a finger to show you that you matter. Why should you keep giving so much of yourself when the other person seems so indifferent? These doubts that consume you are legitimate. It's natural that, in the face of such uncertainty, you feel a mix of frustration, sadness, and maybe even a sense of emptiness. It's like you're investing in something that isn't giving back, and that hurts, there's no denying it. Amid this tangle of feelings, you begin to search for answers, trying to find a way that makes you feel better. Maybe you've sought advice in books, podcasts, YouTube videos, or even in the words of friends and family. And what does everyone say? That you need to value yourself more. This phrase, "you are special," seems to be everywhere. But let's be honest, it's hard to believe that when you feel so undervalued by someone who should treat you differently. But you know what? That statement, no matter how often it's repeated, holds a fundamental truth that you need to start accepting, little by little. You truly are special. And no, this isn't just an empty motivational phrase to make you feel better for a few minutes. It's a reality that you must allow yourself to see and, more importantly, internalize. Write this in the comments: I am special. Write it and read it as many times as necessary, because this is the first step on a journey of self-discovery. You're already tired of following the same paths that always lead you to pain. Enough of investing in relationships where you give your all but receive little or almost nothing in return. This story of giving, of trying to make everything work while the other side barely notices, no longer makes sense to you. What you want now is something real, authentic, where the effort is mutual, where there's a true exchange, where both respect and value each other in a balanced way. Because, let's be honest, what kind of relationship can grow when only one side cares? How can something flourish where only one side is dedicated, and the other just settles in? This is not how things should be. This is not how you deserve to be treated. You know deep down what is acceptable in your life. Only you can define your boundaries, recognize your values, and decide what you're willing to tolerate. And you do this because you know yourself, because you've been working hard to be a person of integrity, who acts with honesty and respect in all your interactions. You do not use others' kindness to feel better about yourself, because that simply isn't who you are. Maybe that's why it has become impossible for you to continue accepting being with someone who does exactly that, who uses your affection, your attention, just to fill their own voids, to feed vanities that you could never reach. And now, you will no longer chase someone who doesn't see your value. Someone so immersed in their own pain and insecurities that they cannot see beyond them. You know how special you are, how much you have to offer. You are balanced, generous, with an open heart ready to love truly. But, unfortunately, the person you're involved with can't see that. They are so focused on their own scars, on their own fears, that they can't recognize who you truly are. And as hard as it is, that is a truth you can no longer ignore. When we stop to think about what's happening around us, we realize that there is so much more at stake than just our own emotions. This isn't a matter of you being insufficient or inadequate in some way. On the contrary, you are an incredible person, with so many qualities and capabilities that deserve to be valued. What is happening here is that the other person still has internal issues to resolve, and that is something completely beyond your control. You have reached a point where you've begun to understand the importance of letting things happen naturally, without trying to control everything around you. The truth is, the more you allow things to follow their course, the less anxiety you feel. This is crucial to ensuring these negative thoughts don't take over your day and destroy your peace. It's a day that, despite everything, has the potential to be beautiful and calm for you if you let it. Still, it's perfectly normal that even when trying to let go of what troubles you, you feel sad, depressed, and frustrated. It's hard not to be shaken when you realize that the other person isn't reciprocating what you offer with an open heart. That hurts because you know how much you could contribute positively to their life, and then the doubts arise: why can't they see how much of a difference I could make? These questions deeply affect you because what you have to offer is authentic, something that could truly transform this person's life for the better. But unfortunately, the truth is that sometimes the other person isn't ready to accept what you have to give. They limit themselves, perhaps out of fear or because they're not yet ready to let go of something that keeps them stagnant. And as difficult as it is to swallow this reality, that is their choice. That's how they've found to deal with their own issues, and as much as it hurts, that's not something you can change. When you decide to let go of that negative energy that holds you back and with an almost liberating calm, think, you know what? I am the real treasure here. I'm going to invest my time and attention in myself, value myself the way I truly deserve. If this person doesn't want to make an effort, that's no longer my problem. It's something they will have to deal with on their own. That's when you take the first big step toward reclaiming control over your life. At that moment, you begin to realize that the obsession is fading, that the constant need is weakening, and that the thoughts that once consumed you day and night are beginning to lose their power. What you are actually doing is creating a healthy space between you and this situation. And this space, this emotional distance, is one of the great keys to attracting what truly makes sense in your life. When you step away, when you stop spending your energy on something that doesn't give back what you deserve, the other person inevitably feels the absence of that energy. This absence acts as a trigger, something that may cause the person to rethink their attitudes, to want to get closer again, to seek clearer communication, and perhaps even move toward you in a more balanced and active way. When you finally stop worrying about whether they are distancing themselves from you, whether they don't apologize or simply don't make an effort to maintain the connection, something magical happens. You begin to understand that your energy is worth much more than that. You look at yourself and think, wait a minute, I am someone who has a lot of value, I have so much to offer in this relationship, so why am I wasting my energy on something that doesn't bring me a return? At this moment, liberation begins. And it's remarkable how, by freeing yourself from these chains, the dynamic between you changes completely. You start to realize that by worrying less, by focusing on yourself and your own growth, you begin to shine. And this inevitably triggers a reaction in the other person. You know, nothing irritates someone more than seeing another person flourishing, finding happiness and fulfillment on their own, without depending on anyone else. But before judging this person, it's important to remember that they may be deeply hurt. They might have emotional scars, traumas that prevent them from seeing their own value, which makes it difficult for them to recognize happiness, whether it's theirs or yours. When you genuinely feel good about yourself, that feeling goes beyond just improving your mood. It's like a field of positive energy forms around you, naturally attracting all the good things in life, people, situations, and opportunities that align perfectly with who you are. This deep well-being isn't about creating expectations or acting with the intention of getting something in return. It's not about expecting the universe to hand everything to you on a silver platter. When you think this way, even if you don't realize it, you're still waiting for something, you're still wanting, you're still needy, maybe even desperate for it. The crucial point here is to change your focus. Instead of directing your energy toward what you want to attract, direct it toward yourself, but do it with self-love and genuine care. Not because you hope that by doing so, something or someone will appear in your life. It's about taking care of yourself for you, with no hidden agenda. Are you following the reasoning? Because if you're still waiting, even silently, you're still tied to that expectation, that desire that may be consuming you little by little. And this becomes a cycle that keeps you bound, not free. What's really important is to ensure that you're not investing in yourself just to attract something external. The real challenge is to focus on not chasing anything, to channel your energy in a way that's free from any desperation or need for external validation. Does this make sense to you? I truly hope so. Because what I want you to understand is that this process of feeling good about yourself is, at its core, about freeing yourself from these invisible chains and finding an inner peace that is yours alone. It's about living a life where your happiness doesn't depend on anything or anyone but yourself. She is in an internal storm, a hurricane of feelings that makes her tremble inside, without you having to lift a finger. This chaos, this uncontrolled energy, is asking to be ordered, even if it scares her, leaves her breathless. Deep down, She knows she needs to organize this emotional mess because what she feels for you is too strong to be ignored or set aside. This feeling pushes her to a new phase, where looking within herself is more than necessary. It is inevitable. She realizes that to find the tranquility and security she so desires, she needs to resolve these internal issues, needs to name what bothers her, needs to heal the wounds that make her vulnerable. This is not a simple process, but it is an essential step, a movement that only she can make. In this process of self-discovery, she begins to understand better who she is and what she really wants. She realizes that she needs to be kind to herself, that she needs to forgive herself and allow herself to grow. This leads her to seek internal balance, a point of peace that makes her feel whole, complete, without depending on anyone to be happy. And it is exactly this balance that brings her closer to you, because the more at peace she is with herself, the more prepared she will be to open up, to connect for real. She knows she needs to be well to be with you in a full way, without fears, without insecurities. And little by little, she is reorganizing herself, strengthening herself until she is ready to take that step, to give herself body and soul, without reservations. This is a powerful process of deep introspection and personal growth that makes her question everything, that leads her to a profound transformation. And on this journey, she discovers that the love she feels for you is the fuel that drives her, that motivates her to be better, to be more true to herself. She is gradually finding her way, aligning her heart and mind, and when the right moment comes, she will be ready to give herself completely, with all the intensity that you both deserve. And in this process of internal reorganization, she realizes that to be by your side, to truly be present and share life with you, she needs to be at peace with herself. She knows that this is the only way for your relationship to be true, balanced, and above all happy. So step by step, she is paving the way for this new version of herself, a stronger, more conscious, fuller version. And that's what will make all the difference for her, for you, for both of you. It's truly a special moment when she decides to take time to be alone with her own thoughts. She engages in deep reflection, genuinely trying to understand what you are feeling, and this in a way that comes from the heart, from an authentic connection. It is not something that happens overnight. It is a path, a journey that takes time but has immense value. Little by little, she begins to see who you really are, with all your layers and complexities. And why does this happen? Because by diving within herself, she also begins to see herself in a clearer and truer way. When someone is going through internal turmoil, it can be challenging to provide the stability that another person needs. Similarly, if this person is still growing, they may not have all the necessary maturity to support another's growth. But when she commits to understanding herself, to exploring her own emotions, and to accepting her flaws, something truly beautiful begins to manifest. She starts to become capable of understanding you more deeply, of supporting you in a more genuine way. As she reconnects with who she is, a new ability begins to blossom, the ability to feel what you are feeling. This empathy arises not as an obligation, but as a natural reflection of her own personal growth. What she offers you is what she finds within herself, and that is as true as the journey she is taking to understand herself and consequently to understand you. Deep down, when she allows herself this space to know herself better, it's as if she's building a bridge between two souls. This connection is not forced. It is the result of an authentic process of self-exploration and self-discovery. She will give you the best she has found within herself, and that is something that cannot be rushed but is deeply felt with a sincerity that is hard to find. That's how, by understanding herself, she begins to understand you, creating a bond that is both emotional and spiritual, based on the truth of who each one truly is. She is going through a very complicated period, a phase full of emotional highs and lows that make her question what is truly important in her life. At this moment, the best thing you can do is not to pressure her, to give her some space. This may seem counterintuitive, but in fact, it is precisely this distance that can help her see things more clearly. When you're not there all the time, she gains precious space to reflect, to reconnect with what she really feels. And what is happening inside her now is something deep, an intense transformation that, although painful, is necessary. She is beginning to leave a world of illusions and finally waking up to reality. This change that is happening to her is powerful, a strong energy that is breaking down all the barriers of fear and confusion that once kept her trapped. It is as if she is awakening from a long emotional sleep. Little by little, she starts to see what has always been there, right in front of her eyes, but which, out of fear or insecurity, she couldn't see. And now, she is being led to a place of greater clarity, where things begin to make more sense. She feels, deep down, I'm scared because I've never felt this way before. And that's exactly it. This feeling is new to her, something she has never experienced with such intensity before. It's natural that it scares her, that it makes her hesitate, because she is facing something that is big and unknown. She is going through a whirlwind of insecurities and confusion, navigating through rough waters, facing her own ghosts and deepest fears. What you need to understand is that she is not in her best moment right now, but that doesn't mean she won't overcome this phase. Quite the opposite, she is in the middle of a process of overcoming, and soon she will emerge stronger and more aware. When that moment comes, she will be more prepared to embrace what truly matters and move forward with more determination. During this time, your patience and understanding are fundamental. She needs this time to assimilate all these changes, to reconnect with who she really is. And when she is ready, she will open herself up to this new reality, where you two can walk together, with more harmony and a deeper understanding. Let your spirit absorb these words and feel them resonate deeply within you. The universe desires the best for you and will ensure a positive outcome, no matter what your decision is. Type, "I receive and accept my destiny and everything the universe has to offer me" to claim this message and the blessings contained in it for you. Leave a positive comment for other viewers who may need a boost of positivity in their day. The universe sees this as an act of kindness. Let's lift each other up and create waves of good energy together. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and stay tuned for the important message waiting for you in the next video. May God and the universe light your path with peace, love, and faith. Amen.